70, good luck. So not played before, no head-to-head score. Goes knight f3. Let's go knight f6. We'll just probably go for a nice, sensible approach. So this is what we normally do with white, so we'll just reverse it, do it with black. So it's just a normal d4 game really now. Just looking to castle, challenge for the center. So let's castle immediately. So how do we want to challenge the center? d5 is logical. Maybe not quite so now. We could do b6, we could do d6, c6. We could go c5, allow pawn down. I'm not sure I want to do that. I think I'm just going to go c6, preparing to go d5. See if he launches one. Then we've maybe got queen up, something like that. Get the queen out of the way. Okay, so he's gone there. So we can go here, threatening to jump forward. It's not a big serious threat. I guess he'll just come here. There is a target, but the knight guards. So I think I'll just play d5 then. Just try and challenge the center if we can. Now we do have an actual choice. Do we want to go with the knight or put a pawn into the center? Generally, it's good to put pawns into the center if you can. So we'll do that. Okay, so now we might as well bring the knight up. Then we're just probably going to bring the bishop up and pawn up, something like this. It's a nice natural square. We can always trade the bishop for the knight, go solid in the center, then shift the queen somewhere. So that's panning out, so we'll take. So we're going to support here. Maybe he can still push. Okay, he's moving quite quickly, isn't he? What do we want to do? I'm going to break the pin here. Just break that pin. He does launch forward. So I guess I've got rook across. Pushes now isn't a threat we can take. So what do we want to do? Do we go here? Do we sack a pawn? I don't like that. I think I'm just going to play rook across, get behind the knight. Not easy to try and figure out a plan how to create something. At some point we might be able to push forward, but right now it's just likely to lose material for us. So in takes, we can sack a pawn, but there is actually a hit to the bishop there, so it might be a move. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, he guards. So, but then we're giving up a knight and a pawn to get rid of his bishop. That could be a concept to consider. Maybe, maybe not. But knight in, h6 is a move just to try and dislodge the bishop. You'll probably just drop back, but it's still a move to consider. Get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental mouse slips. Okay, so he's played forward. So is it actually a move then? Knight up. If knight takes, pawn takes, we have a double attack. So he won't be able to take with the knight. But he could take with a bishop. Takes, knight takes. Then maybe we can get bold with a move like pawn forward. It could be worth actually risking that. It is a risk. It could be worth it though. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and then maybe e5. We'll end up a pawn down, but it'll open things up and he'll end up... I'm going to do it. It might be a mistake, but I'm going to push forward here. Knight up or pawn up. I'm going to push the pawn. I'm going to gamble the other way. I probably should have gone with the knight. Trust my instincts calculating there. Actually, yeah, why have I done this? He just takes and goes knight in. Why did I do it this way? No, I should have played the knight in like I was thinking. I've tried to figure it all out and then I've just pushed the pawn. He's taken. Okay, I'll take then, hit the bishop. Bishop in, takes, knight takes is covered. So we're threatening to take, so he's happy with that. So is there a trick? Takes here up. Maybe. Let's take. Let's come up and hit the knight because we hit the bishop. Man, he can just take, can't he? He has. So we lose a piece, gain a piece, lose a piece, gain a piece. I think we just take the knight there. Takes here. Yeah, I'm confusing myself this game quite a lot, aren't I? Let's just take back. No queen check this move. So if he takes, we're safe to take back, take, pawn loose, and then we'd have an outside pawn, potentially. Yeah, I'm just having one of them games, I'm just confusing myself a little bit, it happens. Okay, he does take, so I assume I need to take here. Take, queen takes, looks nice. If I take this one, you can take, it's going to transpose in it, so we might as well get the rook into the game. He doesn't have a queen check, apart from obviously just sacking the queen, so safe here. So if he takes, I think we take here. But whether we can keep this is another matter. But even if we lose it, if we get rid of our opponent's pawn, 4 and 3 on the same side, theoretical draw. So even if we lose this pawn, it's still a good chance to secure a draw with black. Obviously, we'd be a pawn down, so we'd have work to do, but can we get this motoring? Obviously, this rook, if it ends up being defensive, if he gets forward, that's a bit of a problem. But here, let's see. Something like that might be an idea for white, but let's white worry about their own moves, let us worry about ours. Third rook across, so does that actually give us a chance to get our rook into the game? What's he achieving there? Oh, he might want to go back with a check. So do we mind that? Say a rook across, it's a bit of a holding move, isn't it? Take, then we just get behind the pawn. So it's kind of like a waste of a move, really. So if I throw the pawn forward first, check, trade, rook behind. My king's closer than his king, isn't it? So it gives me a chance. So if I just start marching the pawn, but do I need my king closer first? Or do I drop back and just allow him to go there? It's tempting to activate the rook, but I'm going to push the pawn. I think he's going to check and we'll trade the queen. And then I'm going to try and get behind the pawn and run the king over, something like that if I can. Okay, he's done that. So we get behind. And we need to march our king. So not a lot to think about here. It's kind of automatic. Our king's closer than his king. If we get across, he's in trouble, or he should be. And we want to leave these as far back as we can. Just keep them as far back as we can, so it needs him more moves to get to them. And now we should be able to just march the pawn. If we should be winning now, we should be. Doesn't mean we are, doesn't mean we can't mess it up. But this should be a good concept for us, because how is he going to stop it ultimately? Eventually he'll run out of checks. So now he runs out of a check there. Across, we can push and step over. We just have to make sure we can keep these and not collapse the whole position if we end up just with a rook. So here. Okay, I need to use a bit of time now. He's just gone on the wrong square and blundered it, so we can just check, can't we? He moves, take, and we push. That just wins the game on the spot. He needed to move the rook further across. Yeah, he needed to just move further across. It just wins the game on the spot. Unlucky, so... Yeah, I confused myself that game. Let's just see how it was in engine language, though. Also, we don't accidentally start another game. We have 36 moves. They're the move times for both players. It looks like our opponent's putting it through the analyzer. So we played the end game pretty well, but yeah, we were worse out of the opening here. So we've gone wrong round about move 15, move 14. Actually, so we're -3, so we've actually blundered badly somewhere there. 92 versus 84 on the accuracy. So you can see we blundered with e5, so it was a blunder, yeah. So when I confused myself, wasn't it? I was trying to work out a few moves, and I was really thinking about the knight, and then I just pushed e5. And it was a terrible blunder. So here, yeah, I should have put the knight forward in this position instead of the bishop up first. And we're just completely level. But this is still fine, we're just level here. And we're just coming up to the point now. Yeah, I should have actually played h6. h6 was the preferred move from the engine. And knight up was what I was looking at. Might be a mistake though. So I should have just played h6 there, drive the bishop back. So this is just a clean blunder, and he should have pushed his pawn here. But straight away taking, and it's half the gap. Back to +2 for black. Should have taken the knight instead of rook across. And now it's completely level again, and we're level or better for the rest of the entire game. That's how quickly a game can turn. So at least we played the rest of it pretty decently. But it's still completely level here. You can see 0.0 level. And this trade here is still level. King up. And now we're just building that gradual advantage here. And then that's the blunder. Needed to move the king across immediately, so our king gets in first. And now it should be just a case of, can we convert it? Obviously, you expect in this sort of position, like I say, rook goes across further. You expect in this type of position, actually, you've got to pay attention. Rook right across. If you push up, check, you've got a square, but if the king gets across as a mate threat, you've still got to pay attention. But you'd expect in this sort of position, say rook over, you push your pawn, rook takes, it's whether the king's quick enough to come in and clean up these pawns and still keep some left. But +5, it should be winning for us, it should be. And then that's just a fatal blunder, and then obviously we're going to now get a queen, much easier to clean up. So unlucky there.